Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Sam or Scorpiolo here, and today I have for you guys a video with tons of Call of Duty 2020 information that you haven't heard anywhere else yet. That's right, we're not just going to be talking about the leaked gameplay that I'm sure you've heard about, but if you haven't, then well, there's leaked gameplay we're going to talk about. We've also got a bunch of new information to go over from reliable leakers and sources, including 8 multiplayer maps that are coming to the game, 8 Killstreaks, the unfortunate return of skill-based matchmaking, our first weapon in the game, and some details on the setting, and believe me, it's not quite as simple as you think. This is going to change our understanding of what this game is, so strap in and enjoy. So let's start off with what happened today. Well, a Twitter account named Oog the Legend went out there and said that he had seen 45 minutes of Call of Duty 2020 early gameplay, of which he then went out there and posted 2 minutes of. The internet being the internet, well, this got reposted everywhere, but Activision were very quick on taking this down from all sources, and one particular re-upload of it on the Gaming Revolution's second channel was taken down with the reason listed by Activision as Call of Duty 2020 content. Obviously, because of this, I can't show this on screen, so if anyone from Activision is out there, this video will be respecting fair use, and I will just be talking about the contents of this footage and fully explaining it. But I'm sure you guys can find it somewhere if you really want to. To get into what this footage actually contained, well, the movement and visuals were very clearly similar to Modern Warfare. There's no sliding yet in this current build, but it's likely to be added down the line. We could see on the HUD there was a compass and minimap returning from that game. We're not exactly sure how the minimap's going to work, but apparently they're looking to make the minimap look more like it used to from Call of Duty, without all the weird changes Modern Warfare has brought to that. All this is obviously alpha, so it is subject to change. I've heard a lot of sources actually describe this game as like Modern Warfare, but while taking out a lot of the things that people don't like about it. We do know that Warzone is going to be integrated into Black Ops Cold War on the menu, so as this game won't actually feature a new Battle Royale, but will instead continue to update Warzone with new content updates related to it. So it makes sense that this game would need to have the same kind of aesthetic as we saw with Modern Warfare, so that they don't have to completely overhaul the Warzone graphics or risk it feeling totally out of place with the rest of Cold War. So the leaker did actually tell us before his account was taken down that this gameplay is played on a new map called Tanks, which is set in the near future. Don't worry, I'm going to explain that one in a minute. It's very bright, it's a very colourful map. Stylistically, it reminds me a lot of Arsenal from Black Ops 4, and interestingly, there's actually a logo on the map for a company named Yazla, which was also featured in the map Arsenal. So to explain that near future comment, I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, what the hell? I thought this was a Cold War game. After all, we do know the title is Black Ops Cold War. Well, it turns out that was only part right. This will actually be a game set mainly in the near future like Black Ops 2 and 4 were, with the whole story being told through flashbacks to the Cold War. One of my theories for this is that it could actually be being retold by Old Man Woods, since he is a classic, iconic symbol of the Black Ops series. We know they love to play on nostalgia these days, with Modern Warfare having reinvented a bunch of their characters, so it makes a ton of sense to bring Woods and Old Man Woods back with this game. We do know that before Treyarch actually came in and joined this project, Raven and Sledgehammer were making a Cold War Vietnam styled game. Well, based on their pattern of the last previous titles, Treyarch were probably working on another near future game, so they've kind of just jammed the two projects together to make one new game. So apparently this game will be featuring missions in both the near future as well as the Cold War, which is really clever because it allows them to have multiplayer maps in both eras, which will allow them to, like Modern Warfare, do a hell of a lot of remasters of classic maps and play on nostalgia, as we already know from leaks that they are wanting to do with this game. And by doing this, they can actually remaster maps from any of the 4 Black Ops games without having to change the visuals. For a Cold War era, they can simply have the Black Ops 1 remasters be Cold War maps, and they can have all of the future Black Ops games 2, 3 and 4 in just the near future. Super smart thing here. We have actually already had this proven. In this confirmed leaked gameplay, we do see a brand new futuristic map with this Tanks map, while the long sensation has confirmed to us we'll be seeing authentic remasters of the original Nuketown, Firing Range, Summit and Jungle. So we do have even more info on 3 more maps that will be coming to this game, but I'm sure you guys are going to want to stick around for that because we've got even more exciting info that I'm sure so many of you are going to be cheering in your seat to hear. Specialists will not be returning inside of this game. That's right, instead we are seemingly going to have the operator system coming back from Modern Warfare. We have different selectable characters whose only variation is in cosmetic appearance, character quotes, and general background story, which I think many people will be very, very happy to hear. So obviously these characters won't have abilities in multiplayer, but it's possible that if they do choose to integrate them into the zombies or whatever co-op mode we may see, that they could have abilities there, just like the operators do in Spec Ops. So coming back to the leaked gameplay, after a lot of people have spent a ton of time digging for this, after some comments from the leaker, we have been able to determine that the weapon shown in this gameplay seems to be a Daewoo K2. This is a Korean assault rifle from 1984 that's still in use today. In the actual gameplay, we do see it does have a Black Ops 1 styled reflex sight on it that looks almost identical to what we saw back in that game. And I think using weapons that are still in use today is extremely clever because it lets them use Cold War weapons that will have that kind of visual appearance in those maps, and you could even have them reskinned when you're on a futuristic map to suit that kind of look, even although it would have the exact same stats in both. One thing I did notice looking at this early gameplay is that the map did seem to have a lot of doors about. Obviously, with this being a very early alpha build, none were interactable yet, but I have heard that this game has been testing having doors returning in some sort of way. Now obviously this could change due to the community feedback to doors in Modern Warfare. It's possible they're just going to want to clear that out altogether. So in terms of how health is actually going to work in this game, as of the last available information I could actually find on this, it did seem like they were currently using the manual health regeneration system from Black Ops 4, however this could already have changed to the automatic system. This is something they playtest a ton. As you'd expect, they will test automatic, manual, automatic with stim shot equipment like we ended up seeing in Modern Warfare. It's just one of those things you'll never know for sure really until we get the reveal and we see it for ourselves. Now to get into some of the kill streaks that we have had leaked are in the game. We have 8 kill streaks that we do know are leaked to be featured within Black Ops Cold War, so I'm just going to list them off for you guys. We've got one new one here as well as a bunch of old ones coming back. The UAV, the counter UAV, obvious ones here. We've got a dog kill streak. We don't know if this is going to work more like Nomad, where it's going to be a dog that will follow about by your side and help you get kills and protect you, or if it will be something more like the dogs from World at War, where a whole horde of dogs would come out and try and kill enemies. We will have a chopper gunner, napalm strikes, an artillery strike, an RCXD, which has obviously been teased by Call of Duty themselves, as there is a prototype RCXD found within Warzone. And on top of that, a brand new kill streak, there is a bomber plane that can fly above and actually take out other kill streaks. Really cool, unique idea there. So all round, a lot of these are the fairly standard selection you'd really expect from a Treyarch Cold War title. Very excited to see a dog kill streak coming back and seeing how they bring that in. Napalms are obviously a ton of fun always. But anyways, next up, we're actually going to be getting into the maps. And first up, we do have some very exciting information, being that the Ground War, the massive 32v32 multiplayer that we have seen within Modern Warfare, is going to be coming back with the 5 flag domination of A through E, and one of these maps we do have some very specific details on. There will be a huge ice map which have snowmobiles and tanks, and you can actually drive these about. Driving snowmobiles about sounds like a ton of fun, just like we saw in that Modern Warfare 2 campaign mission. It will be featuring a frozen forest on one of the lanes, a frozen ice lake down the middle. There's going to be bunkers on one side, a train. It did seem like this map is actually in Vietnam, and there is actually a way to earn a flamethrower in this map. I'm guessing by just a kill streak, but we don't really know the exact method for that yet. So most maps in this game will be following the basic 3-lane classic design that we are used to from Treyarch, not the cluttered and confusing layouts we see with Modern Warfare. In terms of the 6v6 map, well, we do have details on a bunch of these. There is actually a warehouse which will have a massive open field down the middle, which has absolutely nowhere to hide. There will be a sniper tower at the end of this field to allow you to pick off those running through this. So if you go through here, you're basically as good as dead. And there will also be a river on one of the flanks of this warehouse map. Another map they are working on for 6v6 is a clustered Russian city which will be cluttered with cars in one area. This is currently huge, so this could either get shrunk down or set to a higher player count, literally basically the exact same thing that happened with Anya Palace in Modern Warfare, where it just played way too slow, so they had to make some changes to it, and now we have the smaller Anya Incursion version. Now on top of those two 6v6 maps, we obviously do already know we have that tanks map that we talked about earlier that's present in Elite gameplay. We do know Nuketown, Firing Range, Summit and Jungle are getting remasters, and we also have this Russian city and this warehouse. That's already 7 maps we know for 6v6, as well as this ground war map. Now granted, based on the way these things do tend to happen, it's possible not all of these will make launch, but all of them are on the way at some point. We saw with Modern Warfare that we had tons of maps leaked that we still haven't even seen yet, and they're just sitting there in the files, but will just pop up eventually down the line. Now let's talk about the dreaded subject, skill-based matchmaking. Now a lot of people hate this, and honestly I can see why. It takes away from the whole classic pub stomping on noobs aspect that Call of Duty became famous from. But unfortunately, skill-based matchmaking is something that's present in all big modern games. Modern Warfare, Fortnite, Apex has it now, and honestly it's made Activision a ton of money, and it's a big part of what's helped keep players invested because they felt like they're better than are. It really helps the casual player base whilst harming the hardcores who love the pub stomping. And realistically, as unfortunate as it is, that 80% makes up most of the casuals unfortunately, and the hardcores are very much the minority here. This is a huge part of what's actually kept Modern Warfare popular for so long, because it's built to appeal to the masses, and some sources have hinted that this does seem to actually be returning in this game, which was kind of obvious and is no surprise. As I say, it's a big part of what's kept Modern Warfare relevant and popular for so long. So hopefully next time I'm coming back at you with Call of Duty 2020 info, it'll be something related to official tease, a reveal, campaign or zombies leaks even, since we still know virtually nothing about that mode. Big thanks to the Gaming Revolution for sharing a lot of this information with me. His channel will be linked down below in the description. But yeah, that's actually going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, make sure to like, comment and subscribe to show your support. Let me know down in the comments below what of this information you are most excited to hear about. And are you excited for Call of Duty 2020? Let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you on future Call of Duty videos. Bye!